UFO whistleblowers are being silenced, says Christopher Sharp. We've got that and a lot more to talk about today, so get in here. This is Jack with Cosmic Road. I talk about UFOs and the paranormal. Please hit like and subscribe, and let me know what you think in the comments below. Okay, let's just get right to it. This is from Liberation Times. Concerns grow over UFO pushback effort whilst whistleblowers remain silenced. That's not good. Observers are increasingly apprehensive as the former director, currently serving as the consultant to Arrow, seems to be taking on the role of its shadow spokesperson, bypassing established communication protocols within the DoD. The lovely Kirkpatrick, now an unpaid consultant to the U.A.P. office located within the DoD known as Arrow, recently informed New York Post journalist Stephen Greenstreet that a forthcoming historical report on U.A.P. would likely be made public before the State of the Union address on March 7th. Interesting that Kirkpatrick went to Greenstreet, right? Shocking. Responding to the lovely Kirkpatrick's comments, the Arrow's official spokesperson, the DoD's Susan Goff, commented, "We anticipate releasing an unclassified version of an initial volume of the historical record report soon. I cannot provide anything more specific than soon." Even after the DoD's clarification, Dr. Kirkpatrick's remarks have stirred confusion, with Liberation Times sources insinuating that he is subverting standard communications procedures. And why wouldn't he, right? That's his job. Spread disinfo. You suppress the topic. Given his official consultant role with Arrow, it's perceived that Dr. Kirkpatrick is leveraging his intimate connection to the office to offer updates typically reserved for an official spokesperson. Dr. Kirkpatrick has previously criticized congressional advocates of UAP who are actively investigating serious allegations relating to potentially illegal retrieval and reverse engineering programs involving non-human intelligence, stating, this is what Kirkpatrick said, "Some members of Congress prefer to opine about aliens to the press rather than get an evidence-based briefing on the matter. Members have a responsibility to exhibit critical thinking skills instead of seeking the spotlight," which is why he's totally not seeking the spotlight by, going around official channels to get his own word in, right? And yeah, he's so evidence-based. I mean, he won't even talk to people like David Grush, etc. So whatever, SK. I'm not going to get into it all. Chris, I'll let you read the full article at your leisure. Chris Sharp does give a little update about David Grush, saying that the op-ed from David Grush has been delayed because of Dopser. It hasn't cleared some stuff yet. So, that's good to know. It's important information. Now, about the lovely SK and, why he would possibly be spreading disinformation. That's his job, guys. That's his job. The lovely Dr. Sean Kirkpatrick is part of the control group. I've given his resume several times, and I've talked about other parts of his, life and connections he has to various companies and individuals that seem to indicate a deep involvement with the control group, or at least some serious involvement with the control group. I don't think he's actually talking to aliens, but I wouldn't be at all surprised if he had participated in some reverse engineering or the like. Here's an article about Sean Kirkpatrick when he was in high school. Sean Kirkpatrick wrapped up with the DOE since high school. Youthful Duluth inventor receives national recognition. And there you go, cute little teenage Kirkpatrick. Here's when Duluth teenager and budding inventor Sean Kirkpatrick began his ambitious plan 3 years ago to build a machine that could speed up blood typing with the use of lasers. All he had in mind was getting my first patent before I was 19. Now he has a chance to realize even bigger dreams. Indeed he does. Or did. Kirkpatrick will experience the kind of thrill I can't explain while working alongside the federal government's top research scientist in the inaugural high school honors research program sponsored by the Department of Energy, etc. Now, some say this is a nothing burger, so he was a STEM kid. But U.A.P. Mike, aka Moonbase Mike, I love that name, says to counter that, yes, I know a lot of STEM kids who were shooting for their first patent before 19 years old. From the looks of this, he was probably being groomed by the federal government relatively early. And indeed, that's my take as well, Mike. That's my take as well. So yeah, meanwhile, for every good article we have a bad article. This is from the Washington Spectator. The Wide Angle is a UFO hoax, a ticking time bomb for Biden, by Dave Troy, the lovely Dave Troy. Is there life elsewhere in the universe? Statistically, it's likely, but don't count on the tightly knit band of UFO activists who have monopolized the subject to be the ones to deliver the news. For decades, a highly entrepreneurial group of researchers, scientists, and journalists has been at the center of the movement to disclose the existence of ET visitors on Earth, and they've scored what may be their biggest legislative victory yet. It goes into the NDAA. It talks about Danny Sheehan. And it just gives a very negative view. Jeremy Corbell, a discredited UFO celebrity who has a bunch of followers on Twitter, it claims to have played a major role in influencing members of Congress. He has been escalating calls for violence. Jeremy Corbell, discredited celebrity, has been escalating calls for violence. Oh my God. Okay, whatever. Many of us who have become numb to this kind of incitement coming from the far right. Yeah, Jeremy Corbell is far right. But the U.A.P. issue enjoys broad popularity across political spectrum, and one independent presidential candidate is taking notice, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. In a recent fundraising email, Kennedy vowed that if elected, he would order the release of information regarding non-human aircrafts, non-human life forms, reverse engineering by the Department of Defense and federal contractors in Roswell. And Kennedy isn't the only politician who's become enmeshed in this issue. So basically, Dave Troy, the lovely Dave Troy, is saying that UFO information promising the release of information could be used against Biden. But of course, it's all BS, but it could potentially be weaponized against Biden, which is, a very interesting take on this, since Biden, of course, was, at least involved in the creation, in the passing of the Schumer-Rounds Amendment, the UFO Disclosure Act. So, an interesting take by Dave Troy. But there you go. So for every good article about UFOs, you get bad articles. But at least you are getting a balance now. It used to be it was all bad, or 99% bad, and debunking maybe the better way to say that. So really interesting. But I think we need a breath of fresh air, guys. I think we need a breath of fresh air. Okay, after all that, let's just take a break, guys. Whew. Ooh, that looks good. Yes, please. Sign me up, guys. Sign me up. Okay, my blood pressure is much chiller now. My blood pressure is much chiller. Meanwhile, more great videos from John Bell, the UFO experiencer that I've shared one or two of his videos. And he's one of these individuals where the phenomenon, they want him to capture them on camera. They want to spread the word that they're here. And they will show themselves again and again to him on camera. And it's just amazing that the captures that he's getting. Look at this awesome orb. Changing direction, big and beautiful. You can see it's totally distinct from the dust particles and bugs that are flying around. That is just a lovely orb. Look at that. And he's got another really cool one where the orb makes a noise. He says usually he doesn't hear noise, but in this time he did. He heard the noise. I think that was the object we saw moving on the side there. And then you can distinctly hear this little whining noise it makes as it passes. All right. Yeah, you can kind of see it change direction right there. And then you get this cool whining noise. Very cool. A very great capture, John. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. I really appreciate it. You're getting amazing stuff. The contact you have is just really impressive. I would love to know, what all is going on there. With people like John that the phenomenon is very active with, and he's able to interact with it so directly. What's that all about? What race or group of people is he interacting with? I would love to know. Meanwhile, Poland's official mint issues a UFO coin that levitates. I love it. You want a levitating UFO coin? I mean, that's pretty cool, guys. I might have to get me one of those. If it's possible to get, I want to get one of those awesome UFO coins. Meanwhile, check this out. Dr. Robert Shipe, friend of the channel, pioneer in dragon UFO research. He coined the word dragon UFO, and he's inspired others to take up the challenge of investigating this really interesting aspect of the phenomenon, where you get these tiny little UFOs that will buzz airborne objects. They especially love our helicopters and planes, and especially military stuff. Well, recently, Black Hawk helicopters came to Marina del Rey, where Robert lives, and they were on maneuvers, seemingly, and just kind of a weird thing for them to be in Marina del Rey. They were there in January and again in February, and on both instances, the dragons were buzzing them. All right, here we go. You'll see one dragon in a minute. There we go. He has slowed this way down because these objects are so insanely fast. But there you can see that object right there, hopefully. And if you think that's a bug or a bird, let me know. But from the distance that seems to be in place here, that looks like a distant object to me. It doesn't look like anything close to the lens that could be a bug or a bird close to the lens. But you can see, if you look really, really closely, it's got little wings. Maybe, is that another one? It's going super fast, obviously. So another likely one. But yeah, these things have wings. Even ones that are like really solid cases for the dragons that will go behind the vehicles in the distance, so you can see how far away they are, and very clearly not bugs or birds that are close to the screen, giving us this illusion of going really fast. These objects that are very far away have wings. They've got wings. It's so weird. They're going faster than any living thing could move, but they've got wings. So what's that all about? Are they actually functional flapping things? Are they, plasma jets like Robert thinks? Is it, a disguise to make us think they're bugs or birds? I don't know, but here's another capture. Let's see. Yeah, here's there's where you can see all the Blackhawks all at once. And Robert sped it up so you can see their movement. And, so there we go. This is the slowed down. I believe the high contrast is what we're looking at here. This is from January. There you go. And, if you think that's a bug or a bird, let me know. But that is going super fast, guys. That is insanely fast. It does not appear to be anything close to the lens. These things will set off the K-band. And,
All right, we just got it.
okay. All right, there you go. So Marina Del Rey, very active right now with the Black Hawk helicopters for some reason, and also with dragons. Are the two going together? Are the Blackhawks there because of the dragons, or are the dragons there because of the Blackhawks? Or do you think it's just all bugs or birds? Well, I don't, but let me know what you think in the comments below.